This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
We came home from the hospital to a home just right down the street here. So we've literally grown up around it.
It's my commitment to the Holman family, to the fact that you'd select us as an opportunity to take on this investment. It's amazing.
History at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. For the first time in more than 7 decades, the track will have a new owner, and it's a familiar face.
We'll focus on rain chances overnight tonight and big temperature swings ahead.
As we get closer to the holidays, chances are you may be buying something online. How one police department is trying to protect you.
I'm still worried. I still don't have a lot of answers.
A local mother concerned about the way her son's school handled a potential threat. We are working to get answers from the district. Good evening and thanks for being here with us. First at 6, shocking news to the entire world and to the people of central Indiana. It is now a new era for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Legendary car owner Roger Penske has bought IMS, the IndyCar Racing Series, and IMS Productions from the Holman family. We have team coverage of this historic announcement. Dave First and Brad Brown are live from the Speedway with more. Hey, guys.
A remarkable day, guys, here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. All of us woke up to the news. There would be a news conference, a sale of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, along with IMS Productions and IndyCar itself. But it goes to, I think, someone who will all agree, and certainly in the IndyCar and racing community, went to the guy that should have it right now, in Roger Penske.
I think that's been the consensus reaction to this, is very positive from everybody involved in racing, really everybody that covers racing, everybody who knows this track, knows the speedway around the area, that if you were going to pass this on to whomever was next, that Roger was the right man for the job.
Think about it. Just 3 owners before now. The late, great Carl Fisher, the late, great Eddie Rickenbacker, the Holman George family, and now Roger Penske. The hands of Roger Penske and Tony George. Turns out you may not have been the only one who didn't see this photo op coming. And as Roger told me after the announcement, he didn't either, despite an initial meeting in September at IndyCar's season finale.
Well, he didn't really tell me, what it was. He said he just liked to talk to me about future stewardship, and quite honestly, I wasn't sure what that meant.
The two got together a week later in Indianapolis when Tony told Roger that the family was willing to sell. Were you shocked when you finally got to the bottom line about what this is going to be? I mean, what was your reaction right when he said, hey, this could be an opportunity for you?
Well, I had to be very careful with my business hat on. I didn't want to sound too excited, but internally I was running 100 miles an hour.
Really? And almost instantly, Roger remembered his first ever trip to the Speedway nearly 70 years ago. His 18 Indy 500 wins, his 16 IndyCar titles. It was an opportunity that tugs at his heart. It's more than business for you, isn't it?
Yes, this is, a legacy that, for my family going forward for hopefully the next 75 years in the future. And to me, to bring motorsports to the level they have within the Holman organization, we want to maintain that.
And perhaps one day exceed it. A purchase this size doesn't come cheap. But frankly, nothing Roger does is.
We just look to be able to come in and make 1 + 1 = 3. And I think with our knowledge at racing, having been an insider and an outsider, a track owner, a race team, and been here so many years, I think we put that all together and we take advantage of that and try to take this thing to the next level.
Good luck in really coming up with a price tag that Roger and the Penske Corporation paid for this. I've heard anywhere from maybe $500 million, maybe $1 billion, maybe $2 billion. They're both private companies. We're probably never going to find out. But one thing's for sure, Tony George, the Holman and George company, really thinking that they've taken this as far as they can do it, and it's the baton's been handed off now to Roger.
That was really kind of Tony's message to everybody this morning with his part of the news conference, was that we have enjoyed our time here, we have shared in some great memories, but ultimately it's time to move on to whatever's next. So we talk a little bit more about, the IMS sale as part of this. As we get a little bit deeper into it, there's more to it than that, is essentially Penske has bought out what was left of Holman and Company. The family sold off the Clabber Girl brand, the very, very famous, world-famous brand in the span of the past year. Well, what comes with this now is not just the Speedway, but as we mentioned also the NTT IndyCar Series, IMS Productions, kind of the entire wing of open-wheel racing here in the United States. Let's hear a little more from Tony George, an emotional day for the family and the end of an era here at 16th and Georgetown.
We're very, very proud. We feel like we're going to continue to be a part of it. You know, everybody who comes here has their own story, and the memories and the accomplishments that make it special for them. We're just fortunate that our family business has had a 73-year run of being part of it.
Roger mentioned that he is going to give everybody currently involved the opportunity to be part of the new board. It sounds like Tony might take him up on that,
yes,
and certainly be a part of really passing that torch. As we said here, what impresses me most about anything about this, Roger said two things. He wants a top 10 list of kind of a wish list of everybody that's already here, and number one tomorrow, going to go walk the grounds, going to go see what it is he's got here. 82 years old, he'll outrun any of us on any given day at this place.
Good for Tony, because he seemed like the world had been lifted off his shoulders.
Yeah.
He was smiling during the whole news conference, outside of the emotional moments as well. But Roger, he's going to hit the ground running come tomorrow. More on Roger Penske, a unique look at this motorsports legend, coming up later in sports. For now, Brad Brown, Day First, RTV6 Sports.
And that big tour tomorrow. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in a few minutes here. It is that time of year as people opt to buy things online during the holiday season. One police department is trying to protect you and make transactions as safe as possible. RTV6's Stephanie Wade finds out why the police department is taking this step now and how you can use it.
As the holiday season ramps up, some might take to the internet to purchase items from people online. That means they'll have to meet up to make the transaction, and that can get a little scary.
I've bought something on Facebook Marketplace, and I met in what I didn't know was a bad neighborhood by myself, and it was getting dark.
Police say if you're not careful, you can get yourself in a dangerous situation for criminals to rob you.
People know ahead of time when you're coming to meet them that you're going to have cash of some sort, or you're going to have a product that they want. It becomes criminal and sometimes violent.
So the Franklin Police Department created an exchange zone at their station where people can feel safe to meet. These two new designated parking spots are under 24-hour video surveillance, giving people that extra layer of security.
3 to 5 times a day, sometimes more than that, people are out here exchanging goods.
Chief Kirby Cochran says people were already using the station for exchanges like these, including child custody exchanges as well.
One thing to remember is a lot of times during custody exchanges, there's a lot of tension between parents. This gives a little bit of sense of security. It's safe for both individuals.
Lori Cox,
I don't have to go to his house. He doesn't have to come to my house.
Is a parent who does, dropping off and picking up her 2 children from her ex-husband at this very location for over a year now.
It's a center point, and it's also it's a safety thing. And you know what? There's a camera there. So nobody can say somebody did something.
She says creating these designated spots monitored 24 hours a day gives her an extra sense of comfort knowing she's protected.
Thank you. I love Chief Cochran for coming up with this.
Working for you in Franklin, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
The Franklin Police Department is also working on putting signs up alerting people when they pull in that they're being recorded. The chief hopes this will deter any criminal activity. And moments ago, we did send you a push alert about finding safe exchange spots near you. In this story on the IndyChannel.com, we have a search tool that you can use as well. Enter your address and you can find a safe exchange location close to you. That's available right now on the IndyChannel.com.
A Zionsville mother says she is worried about the way her son's school handled a potential threat. She tells us the delayed notification to parents made for a very scary and rumor-filled morning. Megan Sanctorum is working for you to get answers from the district, finding out what their notification policy is and what is being done to keep kids safe.
It's quiet outside Zionsville High School today, but some parents tell us the classrooms behind these walls were filled with fear and confusion on the 21st due to a possible school threat.
I think most of us that knew about it, moms and students.
Deb Wegner tells us she decided to keep her son home from school that day after hearing rumors about another student making threats and playing with some sort of gun on social media.
A lot of kids were fearful, and that comes out in different ways. And a lot of that comes out in their social media or texting each other, parents calling each other.
But she says nobody heard anything from the district about it until 11:30 that morning. Some parents tell us a lack of information was the scariest part, and they wanted to be notified before the school day started. Instead, that non-emergency notification was sent to parents midday, letting them know the social media threat was non-specific and that the student who posted it was not at school.
It was just really sad. It was belittling a lot of the fears that a lot of us had because we had known about it, 12 hours before the incident of the email coming out.
The superintendent tells us they only send alerts when there is a direct or imminent threat to student safety. In this case, he says there was not. The email was only sent out to clear up ongoing rumors. Still, some parents say they would have preferred a different approach, so the rumors would have never started.
I would ask them to take our fears seriously and to validate those fears and to collaborate with us so that we can work together to be safe.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
The superintendent says student privacy laws do not allow them to share any disciplinary action taken against a student, such as expulsion or suspension. We do know police are still investigating this case, and information has been forwarded to the prosecutor's office.
Ahead here on RTV6, we are highlighting companies that are actively seeking to hire women. The opportunity at one cable company and what you need to get the job.
I'm tracking showers tonight, but I'll keep an eye on our next snow opportunity later in the week.
For only $89. For on time.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
This week, RTV6 is hiring Hoosiers, zeroing in on companies and programs actively seeking women to join their labor force. One cable company launched an effort earlier this year to recruit more women to join a growing service technician team.
Yeah, and though Comcast has made strides toward this effort, it still has opportunities for any woman who has a bright personality and a need to get out of the office. It's a tough job. But Roxana Alawar knows firsthand women are tough enough to handle it.
It's never been a question of whether we can do the job or not. I think now the question is, do you want to?
Roxana has been a service tech for Comcast Xfinity in Indianapolis for more than 2 years, installing cable and internet systems in homes and troubleshooting problems for customers.
This is fine as long as they're weatherproof.
And she's hoping more women respond to the call from Comcast as it looks to diversify its field operations team.
We want what's in the company to reflect the people that we're actually servicing.
The company spent all summer actively recruiting women to become service techs and doubled the number on staff from 3 to 6, but it's not enough.
I can't tell you how many times during a day I get the reaction of, oh, it's a girl. I think that it would be a beautiful thing to see that go away, for it to be a norm. You expect a person capable to go to your home, not, oh, I expect a man.
It's challenging work that I think previously wasn't viewed as women's work. And I think that, employees like Roxana help to break that mold and say, like, no, we can do it.
Comcast aims to hire at least a dozen techs for its central Indiana locations over the next couple of months. No experience necessary. Classroom instruction is coupled with on-the-job, hands-on, on-site training. There is some heavy lifting, namely the mounted ladders on company vans, but the job focuses on customer service and interpersonal communication.
The technical part is very teachable, but teaching someone how to interact with a customer is a lot harder. So that's another reason why we are happy to welcome female employees to Comcast.
Roxana is the only woman tech in her office, but she says she doesn't have to be.
So it's not about gender, not anymore.
Well, we asked about salaries for service techs at Comcast. We're told the pay starts around $13 an hour and goes up from there. If you're interested in applying or learning more about the positions, we provided a link for you in this story at our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
Let's start it off with some headlines for you. We've got the showers around tonight. Over the next week, we'll see temperatures vary quite a bit. Chance for rain and snow Thursday. More on that in a second. And it's possible we'll drop into the teens for the first time within this 7-day window and maybe just beyond. Lots of clouds around today. The showers around this evening. Then as we jump ahead, I want to show you Thursday morning. That's Wednesday night to Thursday morning. The blue represents some snow. The pink, a little rain-snow mix and rain to the south. We'll see how this plays out, but that may be our second introduction to at least a little snow. We already had the Halloween night snow. Next week, cold blast drops to the south and east. That's where some of the coldest air so far this season will grip the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Hoosier State. Our temperatures will struggle at times to get above freezing for highs. There's the Motor Speedway, the glow of the scoring pylon lighting the stands. Temperatures 49 in Indy, 56 in Bloomington, 55 in Muncie. Temperatures will change slowly tonight. We've got these light rain showers. When the air is moist, it's very difficult to change the temperature, so probably not until well after midnight, when showers diminish, will we start to change these temperatures. There's a little warmth to the south and west, and some of that will be in here Wednesday, I think the warmest day of the week. Overnight, showers gradually push away. We'll wake up to more clouds south and east of Indy, and then more sunshine by the time we get to mid-morning in the afternoon hours. Temperatures in the upper 40s with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures with that northwest wind will feel a little cooler than this, but it won't be too windy. Wednesday, lots of sunshine, warmest day of the week. Temperature jumps all the way to 55. Into the weekend we go. Clouds increase Saturday afternoon. Chance of a rain-snow mix Sunday night. Monday, temperatures reflect the pattern change that begins. High of 34 degrees with a chance for some rain and snow. Colder temperatures even possible as we get to Tuesday. Back to 16th in Georgetown with Dave First.
Yeah, Kevin, welcome back to the Speedway. A remarkable day in the history of motorsports, not only American motorsports, but around the world as well. Earlier this morning at 11 a.m. Indianapolis time, it was, of course, Tony George, the CEO and the chairman of Holman & Company, kind of handing over the keys to Roger Penske as this announcement was made. Shocking, really, the motorsports world. But Roger, taking into consideration his first ever trip was here when he was just 14 years old, and now some 70 years later, he and his company now owns the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Yes, Roger's a businessman, but his business is racing. Penske knew early Indy wasn't a hole-in-one. He first arrived as a car owner in 1969.
We realized it was going to take a complete team effort, and the job probably wouldn't be done for at least 3 years.
In fact, it was his fourth 500 when he won with the late Mark Donohue.
When you bring on Mark Donohue, how key is that to the growth?
He was fully dedicated. He was an engineer from Brown University. He wanted to race. He was technically very savvy. And we just came together as almost like a family.
Do you feel like you have a good eye for talent in racing? And we think of the drivers that have driven for him. My goodness. It's a who's who.
Well, I think that, drivers make teams, teams make drivers.
His winning drivers include Rick Mears, Bobby Unser, Danny Sullivan, Al Unser, Emerson Fittipaldi, Al Unser Jr., Elio Castroneves, Gilles de Ferran, Sam Hornish Jr., Juan Pablo Montoya, Will Power, and Simon Pagino. The owner who took a chance 50 years ago has become the winningest owner in the sport's history.
What was plan B if that didn't work out?
Well, I was really, plan A was that I was a Chevy dealer.
So racing was plan B.
I saw racing as something that I love to do myself. I saw it as a way to build our brand. And there's no question as we built the team and we've seen it integrate within the company, for so many years, it's been a real asset. And quite honestly, I think it's been a competitive advantage for us.
Roger takes his cars out for an occasional spin.
This was the pace car for 72 when Mark Donohue won the race. This might be the car I need to drive back and forth from the hotel this year. Maybe it'd be my good luck charm.
And a chance to check up on his business.
Maserati and Ferrari, Land Rover, BMW, and Mini.
You and Porsche go back a while, don't you?
Well, we race Porsches. I race Porsche Spiders. We've got Audi, Jag. We have Bentley. We have Rolls-Royce. We got Bugatti.
In the Ferrari dealership, can you get me a deal?
I can get you a deal for sure. You're from Indianapolis,
I am
so we can get you one.
Fantastic. This is what I like to hear. we tour his nearly 60-acre super complex packed with 5,000 cars. Look at this. Paparazzi. Morning. It's great. Morning. Morning. Just last year, his 340 franchises around the country sold 430,000 new and used cars. When you started with that one dealership, now look at all this. Did you ever think this could happen?
Well, in my wildest dreams, I wouldn't have believed it.
Where does that come from?
Oh, I think that really, when I think about it, it's, my dad told me one thing, as you grow up, don't worry about yourself. You know, do what's best for the company, and you'll succeed.
Good luck.
The success is far from over. His biggest win is always the next one in everything he does. Given the museum, your success on the track, off the track, what will your dad say now?
Well, I think when he sees what we've done here, you know, I've tried to provide an environment where people can fail in some cases and also cases where they can succeed. And I think that's the kind of person he was. He dealt with integrity. He was a very hard worker, and he supported his family. And that's what I hope he feels I'm doing today.
A little glimpse into the world of Roger Penske out in Arizona. He's got an eye for talent, an eye for opportunity, and all of that has really come together here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The News at 6 continues after this quick time.
Let's get right over to the RTV6 photo of the day. We can't tell if this is an Indiana sunset or sunrise, but regardless, it is beautiful.
It sure is. Alicia Catless-Pankey took this picture in Waldron, Indiana. This looks like it could be a painting, right?
It does.
Well, send us your photo of the day. Email it to news@wrtv.com.
Not if I'm painting. It wouldn't look that good.
A couple of stick figures.
All right, couple of showers around this evening. Those will generally fade away as we go through the overnight. That's the end of the busy news day here on RTV6. David Muir with World News is up next. Mark, Amanda, and I back at 7. See you then.